overcome our economic problems. Of course we have. We can do that and save the freedom of our country at the same time.
I think he'll be remembered as a great speaker, a fantastic orator, a beautiful writer. I think a very passionate man who was part of this more heroic age of politics when we were fighting fascism and the rise of fascism in Europe, and he was on the right side of that argument and wrote such a brilliant book. I think he'll be remembered as a great defender of the House of Commons, of our parliamentary democracy. Obviously he knew both victory and defeat, and obviously people will remember the defeat as Labour leader. But above all, an idealist, someone who was in politics for the right reasons, and someone who wrote and spoke beautifully.
Well, Michael Foot was a great unifier. He was a man of great passion. He firmly believed in the principles of the National Health Service. He fought very hard for peace and disarmament. He wrote brilliantly and eloquently about the need for social justice. And I think he is held in deep respect for the conviction with which he put his views both in print and in his speeches. And I think that's why, irrespective of people's political views today, people will mourn all across the country a man of deep principle, but a man who was also a good man and a very compassionate man.
He was a brilliant journalist, very talented author. He wrote, I think, 20 books. And to hear him at a public meeting, he just absolutely could bring the whole meeting alive. And the reason why this happened was because he said what he meant what he said, and people trusted him. And trust is the core of politics. It's more important to be trusted than any other thing. You can agree with somebody. If you don't trust them, you don't want to follow them.
I always thought he was better outside Parliament than in it, although he was very good inside, as evidenced by the fact in the Great Falklands debate with Thatcher on that Easter Saturday when we had to come back in a hurry. He outflanked Thatcher by a mile, and all the right-wing papers admitted it.
So there was no doubt that we were from different wings of the Labour Party, and I took a very different view on defence from him. I took a different view on Europe, and I took a different view about nationalising state industry. So these were serious and solid differences. So when he became the leader of the party, I resigned from the shadow cabinet. But those differences are really you put them in proportion. He's had a long and wonderful life. He was a great speaker, whether in Parliament or on a political platform. He was a very major influence in keeping the Labour government in power to '79. He moved across and dealt with David Steele and others in the Lib Lab Pact. He used his parliamentary friendship with Enoch Powell to keep the Ulster Unionists on board. He was a great parliamentarian, but his views were strongly held, genuinely held, but in my view they were mostly wrong.
He was always against the House of Lords, and he never took one. He was always against the honour system, and he never had one. I mean, there's not many that you can think of in the course of the past 50 years that's been in Parliament, been a minister, and become Labour leader, and then refused a gong of any kind.